Hey there, Addy friends. Connie here again today. I don't know why I say that because hopefully by now you know that my name's Connie. So that was just a strange opening. It is 9:30 here in Melbourne. I have been up technically for half an hour. I got up just after 9. I haven't slept until 9 o'clock in so long. And my kids are still asleep. Amazing. And I've had one coffee and I'm slowly still waking up. So excuse me if this is a strange voiceover. Okay, so this layout was just one that I picked out some papers from my stash because I've noticed lately most of the things I've been buying and getting in my kits have been very girly. And I do have a son. He is nearly 18 in 3 weeks. He'll be 18. And I really wanted to scrap this picture of my son and my niece, and because I love it, and they have a special bond. Like there's this little special bond they have together. She just loves him and worships him, and he's the same. And whenever she's around, comes around to visit, or we go visit them, they're just together all the time. And she's always chasing after him, and it's like they have like this little special connection. It's so cute. So what I've done here, I think I've used for the background, I've used a pink paisley sort of chevron-y, bluey with the grey tones and stuff in it. And I've used some gesso and just sort of tried to dull down the background a little bit. So now I'm going through some paper pads. Some of these are old paper pads. That DIY one I think is pretty old. And just ripping out some papers that I think will coordinate with the background, because I didn't have that was the only coloured paper that sort of the background paper was the only one I had out of, oh my god, had out of the pink paisley line. So I didn't have any coordinating papers with it. So that's why I've gone into my stash and tried to find something that's going to match and that I like. So at this point I am just doing my layering, and this time I wanted to do my layering a little bit different. I wanted to make it so it was a little bit bigger, if that makes sense. Like it was like wasn't so close to the photo so you could just see it. It was a little bit wider. That was sort of what I was thinking for this one. And yeah, and it was just also to use up a lot of my stash. So, and that was also the plan, because I do get kits, and your stash builds up very quickly when you start subscribing to kits, because the kits are just full of so much amazing stuff. And then the next month you get another kit, and most of the time I haven't even finished using the first kit from that previous month, because most of the time I haven't even opened it because life just gets in the way. And so yeah, and it just builds up and builds up, and I just have my scrapbooking room is bursting at the seams. And yeah, I suppose everybody else's are as well, I can only imagine. But I'll just tell you a little quick story. My husband came in, like, was it last night? Oh, the night before, and stood in my room and started looking around and started adding up things in my art room. Just started adding things up in his head. And I'm standing there looking and going, what are you doing? And he's just standing there going, oh, that would be worth about that. That would be worth about that. And just, yeah, started adding things up in his head and came up with some ridiculous figure. And then proceeded to give me a pep talk about making sure that all my craft stuff is on their home and contents insurance. I just thought it was funny. It was just ridiculous. And then he just leaves. Then he just walks out. He just does silly things like that sometimes. My husband's pretty good. He has no interest in the craft at all. He couldn't care less. He doesn't want to know what I brought. He doesn't want to know what I've done. He doesn't care. And I'm fine with that. But he lets me buy what I want. So, I mean, I can't really complain. If I want something, he'll make sure I get it. And that's it. And so I'm happy, he's happy because I don't annoy him about it, and I'm happy because, yeah, if I want something, I'm pretty most likely going to be able to get it. So yeah, so happy. So anyway, back to the layout. So I've worked out my layering there, and now I'm just going to go through some of my embellishments that I have in my stash and just do a little bit of embellishing. This one I also decided I was going to keep it minimal in the embellishments. I'm starting to feel like that's my style. I'm feeling like I'm not a big embellishment person. So yeah, I'm thinking that's where I am. I think I'm starting to find my embellishment groove, if that makes sense. So that little flag there, I've had that in my stash for, oh my God, so long. I don't know. Most Aussie girls will know that's from Kmart. And I think I got 2 packets of that, and they were like $1 or 50 cents when they were marked down. And they've just been sitting in my stash for ages, and I've never used them. And that tiny little word newsprint banner there just worked perfectly with this. So I just cut a little bit off, and I'm going to get that to work within the layout. So with the layering, I decided that it needed a little bit more white, just to break apart from the background and all those pattern papers. So I've just added a little bit of computer paper behind it, and it just makes it stand out that little bit more. So now I'm just going to fuss around with this circle. I really wanted to use it because I loved that little pattern on the bottom. I didn't really want to use it as a journaling card. I just wanted to use it because that little floral leafy pattern I love it. It's so pretty. So now I'm going to play around. I seem to take a long time working out these words because I actually had no idea what I wanted my title to be. No idea at all. And so I was just fiddling around, and I wanted to use those thickers, those glitter thickers. I can't remember where they were from. I think they are the pink paisley ones. I'm not 100% sure. I think they are. And they had the aqua ones on one side and the silver ones on the other side. That packet. You know that packet I'm talking about? Yes. So, and I had no idea, and I really wanted to use the aqua words, but I had no idea what my layout was going to be, and I sort of started thinking best ever, and then I was starting to place it, and I realised that looks exactly like the layout I just did the previous, my last layout. I'm thinking I don't want to keep repeating the same layouts. I want to add a little something different every single time. So like I'm improving, I'm creating, and I just, because if I just went through and just done bang, 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 and them all the same, then it'd be pretty boring, wouldn't it? So, and it'd be pretty boring for myself doing it because I'd just be repeating the same thing. So anyway, so I fuss around with these words for a while, and I think I do stop the recording because the video is getting too long, and I do come back, and I think I've worked it out. Yeah, oh, that word wonder I broke when I tried to take it off. I ripped it off. I didn't do that on camera. So I've come back and I have decided what I'm doing. So it's going to be called The Best. And to add that little bit more of that glittering, I used some of those hearts that were on the word sticker sheet on the banner. And then I've pulled out those wooden hearts to go along with it to match with the banner that I'm going to put down below. So what I've done is I've done a little paper strip cluster, and that's going to sit just below the photo. It's just down the body. You can see that it's got that little wood veneer banner, and I have just laid down strips of offcuts of paper that I've just cut off that was on my desk, and just glued them down, and just a little bit of thread there, and I'm going to glue that banner over the top of that little cluster. And that will tie in the, what am I talking about? The wood veneer little mini hearts that are going to be up on the banner. And it's also got that little green sparkly heart, which will tie in with the title, which will tie in with the little hearts up on the banner. Does that all make sense? So now, before I put the banner on, I'm going to go through and add some more acrylic paint. I'm really starting to enjoy this adding white paint everywhere. I've always loved white paint, and well, I've always loved paint in general, and just adding it to my layouts is just giving me that extra dimension. Years and years ago, I should probably pull out some of my old scrapbooking layouts from years ago and like do a little video and show you. If you want to see, leave a comment below and I can do that. And I'll show you what I used to do, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And you can see how much my style's changed. So leave me a comment if you want to see that below. Anyway, so I'm just using, it's just with a dry paintbrush, just getting a little bit of the acrylic white paint there. It's like a heavy bodied paint. And yeah, just painting around, messing it up a little bit, painting a little bit on the title, around the edge of the photo, and I don't know, it just seems to finish it off for me. And now I'm going to add my little banner up the top, and that is pretty much it. I do come in with my, I do add a little bit of, I actually moved the camera there, I knocked the camera, if you saw that little, that little movement. I did knock the camera with my head because I was standing up. That's a bit funny. Anyway, so I did come in here with a little bit of white paint just so the banner ties in with the rest of the layout. Just dab some white paint on there. And I also come in with my grey lead that I am starting to love. Last layer I didn't do it on, but this one I am. Oh, sorry, I've got to do my mini stickers. And I end up using those sort of brownish, I think they're a coffee colour, I can't remember the name of them, Studio Calico mini stickers, and my title is just the best, because in the end it is just the best. Their relationship is just the best, so it was just perfect. So yeah, I do come in now with my grey lead and just do my border and some little squiggly lines. Oh, I know, I forgot about this step. That's how long it's been. How long ago I done this layout. So I'm going to add some Heidi Swapp Colour Shine. So, yeah, I've got the colour. I picked out 2 colours, but I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. So I done a little sample card on the back of a piece of scrap paper to work out what colour we're sort of going to dry at, because I really wanted it to match that title, best, the word best, and the love hearts. So yeah, I just quickly shake them up. I'm not sure how long you're meant to shake them for, but I don't have the patience to sit there and shake them for ages. So I just give them a quick shake and then just start using them. And I don't know, I've never had a problem with them. I always seem to get the colour. I never seem to get any of those, is it the greasy dots or I've heard people talk about? I'm not sure, but I've never had a problem with them. So I just give them a little quick shake, and that's it. So yeah, no problems there. So now I'm just adding my grey leads and some little doodles there, and I come in later off camera with a date stamp and stamp the date on there as well. So that's it from me today. So if you liked this process video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think about my style and my layouts and the way my videos are. So that's it. So I will see you next time. Bye.